Hi, I'm Jason from Komodo.
My name's Adam.
Hey, I'm Mayor Suarez.
I'm Nick Spanos.
My name is Alex from Celsius.
Hi, my name is Jörg Moll.
This is Jeremy Gardner from Awesome Ventures.
Hey, I'm Pete. I'm from Kudo, and I'm here watching Bits and Tokens.
And so should you.
Hey guys, what's up? It's a lovely Thursday here. Welcome to our live stream for bitsandtokens.com.
Welcome.
Don't mind me and my wine. We got wine today. A little bit of, I guess, drunk crypto, whatever you want to call it. But cheers. Now,
How gross would it be if I finished this whole bottle, like just to the face right now?
what's wrong with you?
I'm just saying, like if hypothetically, if I was to finish this whole bottle.
Hypothetically, you shouldn't.
Why?
Why? What do you mean why?
Did you know that one bottle of wine per day is actually exactly what Jesus recommends?
Okay. Anyways, welcome guys. Welcome to bitsandtokens.com, our live stream where adoption starts here, and we talk about crypto 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, unless it's leap year. That's 366 days.
Man, oh man.
Man, oh man. All right, guys. So, if you haven't checked us out yet, follow us on social media. We have Instagram. We have a Facebook page. We have a website, bitsandtokens.com. We have our personal Twitter and, other social media. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, it's Annalise_BNT. Tim is Tim_Weatherman, I think.
No, just BTC Weatherman.
Just BTC Weatherman, yeah, what he said. And then, of course, follow the Bits and Tokens page, as always. So
my Twitter is low key popping. I'm not gonna lie. So
poppin'?
be careful.
About?
Just be careful. I keep all of our crypto friends in the loop. We have fun. We joke around. It's really cool. You'll get to see like a kind of a behind the scenes of the crypto world if you follow me a little bit. Cause I'm always the one, like if you're working and Jerome's working or whatever, I'm always one taking pictures and stuff. So I got like all the behind the scenes goodies and whatnot.
Speaking of pictures, we're gonna start a vlog soon, guys. Just like a day-to-day vlog, because it's actually really funny to like. So as like
hanging out with us is hilarious. I don't care what nobody says. It's so funny.
As like a videographer, like just catching things on day to day, I realized I was like, why don't we record these things? Like there was someone yesterday who literally followed us. It was a security guard. He followed
that
us
was so
from the
funny.
first floor to the second floor, and the only part that Tim
it was the fourth floor. We went up four floors.
No, it was like 5 floors.
No. Because all right, so the top one is actually it's labeled 4. Like I remember. Yeah, I remember that for sure. And the reason why I know that is because we went around the 3rd floor twice, which is hilarious. Because we noticed the security guard was following us in the parking garage, right? And then like we're just dying laughing, like just ha ha he he, and he definitely hears us and he's upset. And
he
so
was
like
very upset.
we went around.
Oh my gosh.
We were like, okay, so we have like a little bit of a lead on him. Let's see if we go around the 3rd floor, like if we can lose him or whatever, just like to be funny. I didn't think we were actually like, gonna lose him. Anyway, so we didn't lose him. He follows us. He follows us up to the 4th floor and literally almost crashes into the car. And then at that point, I start filming, which I should have got.
You should have got him following it. It was just so funny.
It would have been, oh man.
Like he was coming like like it was like
he came in hot.
Most criminal crime scene you've seen all day. Apparently, you can't go on the top of like parking garages if they're like government buildings after they're closed. Apparently, they're technically private property. I'm like,
I don't understand how that's private property.
So they claimed there was a sign. We went around the entire building. No sign, of course. He called the cops on us. He described me and Tim as 2 black individuals, and I was like, wow. Okay.
First of all,
pretty sure we're the same color.
First of all, I'm burnt umber if we're talking colors.
The guy was Hispanic, and I was like, wait a second, we're definitely the same color. What's going on right now? Like, no, I'm not offended if you call me black. It is what it is, but I just thought it was so funny. And he was like, "You have my license plate number." It was so funny. But
I don't know about. I'm burnt umber. I don't know what.
They're like, "Oh, they're not being compliant." Blah blah blah. The cops came over, sweet as day. They're like, "Hi guys, how are you? You guys are filming."
They asked us how long we needed, like.
Right, and they like waited for us, and I was like.
It was adorable.
Why couldn't you just be like that guy? Like, come on. Like, why? Come on. Why'd you have to But it was funny. I think it's because we made him chase us down. Is because he was upset. Because he was upset. He was blowing fire. He came up to us so rude. But hey, it is what it is. So crypto topics, guys. Let's get into some crypto topics.
We're doing some hot topics right now.
Hot topics right now.
Hot topics.
Hot topics. So
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like the black background.
No, it looks nice. It looks nice.
If we were to change it to anything, maybe like we can literally be in like the gates of hell.
No, absolutely not. I'm sorry. Have you seen this angel?
The gates of hell.
Anyways, so we should like crop horns on our heads.
Wow.
Anyways.
But you move around too much. There's no way.
I do move around. It would have to be like follow focus, which is like, well. Anyways, so let's talk about hot topics. First hot topic is definitely going to be Binance. Hottest topic that's out there right now in the crypto space. So if you guys haven't heard yet, Binance was hacked.
Again.
They took KYC. You know, and it's sad because it was the second time. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's relatively within a short amount of time, especially since
$3.
They
ain't even gonna lie. $3.
We're talking about crypto here.
I am.
Now,
I'm getting loosey goosey
really
for my crypto people.
Because it happened within such a short amount of time since the last time they were hacked. Because that was like what, a few months ago?
Not even.
Like it was
last
recent.
month.
It was this year. Yeah, it was like.
It's like last month.
So obviously a lot of people are uneasy. They claim to have 10,000 photos and passports and people holding up ID to their faces.
Let's find out, what did they have.
They have published 400, I believe. 400 photos have been published of people, stuff like that. Now, they're asking for about $3.5 million, which is about 300 BTC, which is what they want, which is like, whoa, like that's crazy. At first, I saw like 25. I don't know where the 25 BTC came from, but later on I read it was like 300, which was crazy. But, man, not looking good for Binance, to be completely honest, especially since they're trying to do their U.S. exchange. After they're kicking everyone off the current Binance exchange, they're trying to make a U.S.-friendly version. This definitely does not motivate anyone to get on any version right now, because that's, for somebody to have, my name, address, face, passport, that's a lot. And, if they're working here in America, they need social security numbers.
So here's the thing. Supposedly, Binance is claiming that it used a third-party company to do its KYC. And so supposedly all the information wasn't obtained through Binance. It was obtained through that third-party company. So like,
but it was Binance. Okay.
How do you protect yourself in a situation like that?
That's
like,
how
do you?
That's a hard situation.
I mean? That's rough.
That is a rough situation, and especially because you can't. So as a company owner, you have to do the due diligence to do your research on a company, make sure that they do have a good track record, a clean slate. They have up-to-date protocols. But in the event that something slipped, in the event that there was a developer that didn't fix a bug or, whatever it is that happened within that, third party, that's now their fault. But also it makes the company that was attacked look really bad, which is why Binance looks so bad right now, because, they're outsourcing and not doing everything in-house. If it was in-house, maybe it'd be a different story. And then, maybe Binance... Because here's the thing, right? Nobody's blaming the third company. Everyone's blaming Binance.
Oh, absolutely.
People are pointing fingers at Binance because they see it as their fault.
Right.
Even though it's technically not, but it's their information.
Technically not.
Well, they're third parties, right? Like, they outsource. But that's a tough spot to be in, which is why a lot of people try to do everything in-house. But it's really hard to do everything in-house. There's a lot. Like, have you ever worked for a company? Do you know how many departments companies have? Like, they have a ridiculous amount.
How many departments we have, first of all?
Like, yeah, even us. Like, we have the media department, editing department. Like, there's a lot of departments. Security, HR, like,
Yo, shout out security department one time. Keep everybody safe.
Wow. Anyways, so, it's
have we been hacked?
Have we been hacked?
Have we been robbed?
No, we haven't.
Security's doing their job then. Tell you that right now.
Yes, thanks security. But it's one of those things where it's just like, dang, man. Like, that's a really tough spot to be in, to be completely honest.
Speaking of security, if you need, some security services while you're in the Miami area, I know a great media company that definitely got your back. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about entrepreneurism.
I'm just saying, we do it all. We do it all. Security is one of those services that we provide. Shh, it's not on the menu. You got to ask for it. You know what I mean? But, we do a good job.
Anyways, so, yeah, ByNance is in a tough spot. I feel really bad for them in
Oh,
general, but
the cargo van that we're about to buy, it should be bulletproof.
that'd be cool.
That would be super lit.
That'd be cool.
What? Whole ass convoy roll up?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Like a damn
That'd be
tank?
awesome. All right, next topic.
Whoa. Hold on. I'm not done. I'm not done raking ByNance over the coals. Okay.
Wow, that's how you feel? Leave my buddy ByNance alone. Like, you know, it's
ByNance is not a human.
It hasn't
okay?
been their year, honestly.
Listen. Here's the thing. Okay. Here's the thing. I didn't even want to do KYC for ByNance, right? I had to because I had to help somebody set up their KYC for ByNance because they're, you know, big timers or whatever. Big timers. But ByNance made me do this KYC. Okay, so stupid. I had to take my picture, all this dumb stuff, and then I had to upload it, blah blah blah. Like, first of all, now because I did the KYC, it's a double-edged sword, and both edges are just inside my gut. Okay, so first of all, in September, apparently I can't even use ByNance no more because I did my KYC. Stupid. I could have been from anywhere and it would have been fine, but no, because I did the quote-unquote right thing. No, I can't even use ByNance no more come September. So that was the first, like, kind of, ugh. Now the KYC information got leaked. That's crazy. I'm going to have to start over, make a whole new ByNance, pretend I'm from, like, Uganda or something.
Uganda. You know, it's one of those things that happens. Like we said, they got hacked by a third party, and it's a harsh hit on them because people don't look at the workers. They look at the company that was targeted.
Right.
It's same thing with, Equifax when they were hacked. There was a bunch of companies that were affected in the process. Because it was there and it was a conglomerate, it was multiple companies, they were to blame. But if somebody doesn't shine light on the company, then who's to blame? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's really shining light on, oh, this is the company that got hacked, which ByNance was third party, which ... And I mean, was there other companies who were affected, or was it just ByNance? That's another question. You know, were they targeting specifically ByNance?
I'm sure that company handles KYC for a bunch of different stuff.
Right,
like,
I'm assuming so.
Who's going to pay the most? ByNance. Of course it's going to be ByNance. And a lot of times these hacks happen from, like, developers that worked for the company that left themselves a backdoor. So that's also part of it. How do you protect yourself from a developer that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be lying if I said that I didn't, like, you know, kind of shuffle my cards the right way before a company fired me. You know what I mean?
Okay, I see that. I don't know. I guess
the company,
that's why you have to. I mean, usually when companies fire people, like, they immediately, like, revoke, you know, certain access. What they should do
but you
is
can't
to figure out, you
can't revoke all them emails I sent myself with all that customer data. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't.
Well, sure, but that's when you have to, like, you know, do your due diligence as a company and, like.
But, like, here's the thing, though.
Backtrack.
But here's the thing, though. If you revoke access from me, like, of a program that I created, you don't think I made a backdoor for myself? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I get you.
Like,
that's why things need to be
if I'm the one that made the program that verifies the KYC or whatever, like, you can't ban me from that. Like, that's mine. That's my baby. I made it. I'm gonna get in there if I want to get in there. That's basically what I'm trying to say.
There's a lot of ethical issues that can come into play when it comes to technology and the building of technology. I mean, that's honestly with anything. But the thing is, you know, if somebody built it, you have to have other people kind of, like, retrace.
Yeah. You need what you need is a bug bounty program, right?
Right.
And I hate that this is, like, the world that it sure is Vino time. I hate that this is the world that we live in now, where, like, companies are shipping products in, like, beta. Like, I remember the other day, me and Jerome were having a conversation about, like, how beta testing used to be a thing, but it's not a thing anymore because everyone is the beta tester.
Right.
Like, it used to be so cool. Like, I used to know people that were, like, beta testers for video games, and they would get the games early, and they would have to report, like, oh, if you walk in this area, you fall through the wall or whatever, this and that. And they would make the games more, you know, secure that way. Now, everything just ships, right? Like, you ship it first, and then you see what the bugs are, and then you fix it, right? Like, we've been quote unquote guilty of that with, like, different revisions of our website, but it's not anything that's like security is always, like, the first and foremost. Like, the security just exists as it is, and then we build out features on top of it.
Right.
So, like, trying different features or whatever to see, like, what people like, what sticks is a little bit different than these companies, how they're just shipping any old product. If there's holes in it, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost cheaper for them to, like, make a bunch of money up front and then patch up holes later. That's what the issue is nowadays.
That you're right. And that's how usually. I mean, sometimes they call it beta when they just release it just as is. Sometimes they do the early access. Some people have early access to like some games and things like that.
Some of their betas are really alphas. Y'all need to learn how to stage your products properly, because some of your betas are actually alphas, and that really like we need to talk about that. Like a beta should be a finished product that like maybe like a couple pixels here and there need to change. Like it shouldn't be like, oh, we have a gaping security flaw in our beta. Like
it's halfway done.
It's not a beta at that point. That's just an alpha.
Right, I get it. Well,
So
here we are. But ByNance, it sucks. It sucks. That's all I can say. It really sucks for you guys, but.
And that's crazy because I love Binance. That's still going to be like one of the exchanges that like I promote and I tell newbies to use because it's very easy to use. It's very easy to understand everything. I know the layout. We all know the layout. Like I love
It's an easy
Binance,
exchange. It's easier than a lot. But I mean, as times progress, technology will evolve. More exchanges will come about. I know blockchain.com is releasing an exchange. It's supposed to be faster than Binance. It's supposed to be the fastest exchange out there.
So we'll see.
There's been a lot of heat with
still,
blockchain.com, especially with the whole thing
back.
with the chairman.
Right. I'm still waiting to hear back from their affiliate program because supposedly they like us and they want us to promote it.
Yeah, that was a whole thing.
I don't know if I'm going to recommend that exchange to you guys yet. Maybe. That's a super maybe. And if anyone knows me, when I say...
have to check it out first.
When I say if I say maybe, it means like probably. But if I say super maybe, it's like, I really need some more information first. So that one gets a super maybe from me.
Well, you can't make any claims before you have a product. So I mean, we'll see. But anyways, moving on.
What's our next hot topic?
John McAfee. Let's talk about John McAfee.
John
McAfee,
Mr. Mac,
was put as one of the the chairmen for Apollo Currency.
Which, first of all, let me just we need this is why I need a soundboard so I could just be like, we need a soundboard.
So if it wasn't for Mr. Mac, honestly, I would just probably say no to the currency. Yes, it's a fast currency. It is used for, payment processing. It literally settles within seconds. You click refresh, it's settled. It's fast. XRP is fast. EOS is fast. There's a lot of fast currencies out there. Different uses. I guess the FUD that was around the currency earlier in the year, late last year, is really what kind of nudged us the wrong way. Now, we were in touch with Apollo. They did speak to us regarding, different things. And I think, what was it, the CEO who we spoke to? We spoke to someone from there, one of the executives.
One of their higher-ups sent us 100 Apollo at one point.
Right.
So I'm going to let that rock. And if they end up turning into something, we already have 100, so we're good. But, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't really... There's way too many of them. Like, it's not that cool. It's literally NXT. Like, It's
literally
that was
the issue. I think we asked for the lines of code, and we asked them to send it to us. And at one point, they didn't answer us back. And then one of their higher ups saw one of our episodes when we said that they didn't answer us back, and they're like, "Oh no, we're right on it." And they started messaging the CEO or whatever, and messaging this department and that department. But they really never got back to us, which was the issue. If you're gonna say something and rep for your company, don't talk the talk if you're not gonna walk the walk, right? When Mr. Mac got chairman, I think it was prior to that. Prior to was it before or after October that we spoke to them? I don't remember.
That was after October.
It was after October. Okay,
yeah,
so
it hasn't been a year yet.
Yeah,
no,
Mr.
no
Mac
way.
was already a chairman by then, but now he's. What was the beef that I think they had issues not too long ago, literally on Twitter. I'm sure he tweeted something about Apollo, and he erased it.
Yeah. So what happened was he had money locked for some reason. He thought that they were locking his money, or I don't know, something like that. But anyways, so he tweeted them "Oh, I'm having an issue" or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so after that, he tweeted, "Oh, it looks like a bunch of people are having this issue. It's not just me. This is very disturbing, and it doesn't look well. It doesn't look good for Apollo."
So the chairman told the company that he was having issues, along with.
So clearly, we can clearly see that he's not a chairman in that sense, where he actually knows what's going on with the company.
Well, yes, I know. He's someone who just he's a face. He's like when Elon Musk was the fake CEO of Doge for one day, right? These are just faces, right? There's people who pay residuals to have your name on their company in some way, shape, or form.
Radio.
Now, he was having issues. Other people were having issues. He was alerting the company.
Cheryl says I'm in for $9,000. I hope that's $9,000 Apollo and not $9,000. Although knowing Cheryl, I'm pretty sure she wouldn't put $9,000 on
Probably 9,000.
a token that I openly talk poo-poo about. Like, I'm sure that wouldn't be the case.
Well, we'll see. But what else happened after he alerted them?
So then they tweeted him saying something about how, like, oh, the only person having this issue is you. We've had no other reports. You mentioned it yesterday, and we said it might be a password thing, but we're going to have some devs look at it. This is very disingenuous, dishonest, or whatever. So then he took down his tweets and then tweeted, oh, Apollo good, blah, blah, blah. So let me see.
So my question is, was it fixed? Right? Like, was this issue fixed, or was it something?
It was only something with him.
Off?
Like, let's say you lost your password for Binance, and then you were tweeting like, "Oh, everyone is telling me that Binance is holding their tokens hostage." Well, that's not what's happening. You just lost your password, dummy.
Oh, okay. Well, no.
So basically, that's what it was.
Okay, but I'm assuming then people weren't having issues.
No one.
He just
it
said
was
that.
very disingenuous.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Mac, come on, get it together. Yeah, he was saying that Apollo is going to increase, I think 1,000-fold or whatever, but I don't know. I'm not crazy about Apollo. We'll see. So next on our hot topics, let's talk about the price of Bitcoin.
Before we get into that, if y'all want to earn some free crypto, I'm about to drop a link in the chat right now.
Oh, the Coinbase Earn. Yeah, it's
right.
an awesome way for you guys to learn about cryptocurrencies,
So,
and they actually give you some.
So here's the cool thing about Coinbase Earn is that it literally, like, this must be like more than my $100th, like my $120th that I've gotten from Coinbase because they gave me $50 of XLM. They're giving out $50 of EOS, which I put the link in the description right now, so you can go and get your $50 of EOS just for doing the little lessons and sharing the link.
Even if you already have an account, it does say sign up, but if you haven't completed these lessons, you're still eligible to get, the incentives.
Yeah. So you do need the link that's in the chat right now for you to like click on or whatever. You do need that link because it's like an invite link or whatever.
Right.
If you haven't been
invited
invited
sign
to earn,
in and then do the lessons.
if you're not yet eligible, they'll put you on the waiting list. But usually, like, I was on the waiting list for like all of like 30 minutes before I actually got in there and was able to do stuff. But anyways, it's literally free money. If you don't like the currencies that they have available, it's possible for you to immediately just trade those currencies right in the Coinbase app. You don't have to use Coinbase Pro or anything, but like right in the Coinbase app, you can convert your currencies to Bitcoin, for example. So I don't have anything but Bitcoin and a little bit of XRP in my Coinbase. So
interesting.
Yeah, I immediately converted them. Didn't really lose any money on the conversion, a couple cents, but then Bitcoin kind of started pumping a little bit and it went back up. So my little, I think it's like $50 or something that I got recently. It's like $50.49, whatever it is. Anyways, that link that's in the description, it's literally free money. Go get the free money. It's free and it's money. And like, if you wanted to, you could even convert it to BTC, sell the BTC, and then cash it out immediately for cash. My Coinbase, whenever I send cash to my bank account, it happens within like 12 hours. So if you want free, like literally free money to just have right now,
basically immediately.
It's so fast.
So quick.
It's so fast. The lessons are only 2 minutes. You honestly don't even really have to sit through the whole videos, like if you really don't want to, because the answers are really obvious. It's like, oh, what is EOS? A blockchain for such and such.
You guys should definitely, if you don't know about the currency, definitely sit through and watch it.
If you want to learn,
worth the while.
Definitely learn.
It's great.
It'll teach you about all these currencies. If you just want free money, go on, get you some free money.
We're pushing education, Tim. Stay alive.
I'm pushing free money. Okay.
We're pushing both.
If y'all want free money, go on, get it. Link is right there.
Yeah, link is right there, guys. Okay, back to the price of Bitcoin. So the price of Bitcoin, as you guys saw over the weekend, it ran up close to that 12,000 mark.
Wow,
again.
we're at 11,892 according to the bottom of the screen right now.
We sure are. It ran up close to 12,000 up again, but it didn't break through. So apparently, one of the, I guess, reasons why it pushed through was because I believe the Chinese yen pegged to the dollar.
The yuan?
One of those, yes, pegged to the dollar fell down and it was devalued, which caused a run in Bitcoin. It was good for the Bitcoin at that rate. That was one of the things that I heard.
There's a lot of stuff that's happening right now.
Yeah,
that's
there's a lot of things. I mean, the stock
kind of
market apparently is at a peak and it's going down.
Yeah, so there's a lot of
few
factors
things
that are causing like what people are saying is like the perfect storm for Bitcoin to be able to like
to
take
really
over.
flourish.
Yeah.
And show its potential.
Even to be like used as like a reserve currency of sorts. Like there's a lot of factors that are involved. Obviously, the U.S. dollar is about to take a shit any one of these days. It's really any fool's guess what day it's going to be, because we're teetering in a very precarious situation with the U.S. dollar.
I guess whenever that happens, it's going to suck for stablecoins because they're pegged to the dollar.
Right. Which is why like the thought of a stablecoin is cool, but the fact that the majority of them are pegged to the U.S. dollar is so dumb, because like the whole thing is that it's not going to. So that's why and let's talk about this, because a lot of people don't realize this, right? The purchasing power of the U.S. dollar is going down. Right now, the main way to value Bitcoin is in the U.S. dollar, right? But if the purchasing power of the U.S. dollar goes down, it means that the price of Bitcoin also goes up, but it doesn't necessarily mean that your purchasing power with Bitcoin goes up. What I don't want to see is a world where everyone's predicting, oh, Bitcoin's going to be worth $1 million one day. That's all fine and dandy, but if that $1 million 2 years from now is only worth $1,000 today, it doesn't really mean anything. We didn't actually get anywhere. So that's something to keep in mind, is that all these people that are projecting that Bitcoin is going to be worth $1 million, $100,000, whatever the case may be, that's beautiful. And I would love for it to actually be worth that in today's money tomorrow. Like, I wouldn't want it to be worth $1 million, but $1 million is not worth a Honda Civic. You know what I mean? Like, I want there to be... I want to actually make some money, but we'll see. Bitcoin is the only beast of its kind. Anything that purports that it's going to be the next Bitcoin it will never be the next Bitcoin. It's something that I have to explain to people all the time, that it's not possible for anything to be the next Bitcoin because of how Bitcoin was created by a man or a group operating under a pseudonym that just put it out into the world, and they're not the owner of Bitcoin Incorporated. They're not a for-profit, you know what I'm saying? It's just people that really like it, anarchists, you know what I'm saying, that are out there that are just trying to make this a cool thing for y'all. No one has incentives. Nobody is holding the most coins. Like, obviously, Satoshi has, a gang of coins locked up or whatever in his wallet or their wallet. But that's because, like, he believed in the project and accumulated Bitcoin early on. It wasn't like there was any special way to accumulate extra Bitcoin, you know what I'm saying, because he was Satoshi. Like, everything is math. And so that's why Bitcoin is beautiful, because it's not owned by a corporation. Every single other project or currency or whatever is owned mostly by a corporation, which is great because paid devs are happy devs, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time...
Can you tell he's passionate?
At the same time, like, that's my stance on Bitcoin. I'm definitely a Bitcoin maximalist, if you will. I think that there is a place for other coins, obviously,
This is delicious.
I told you, for like $3, that's so crazy.
Good. It's mostly probably just sugar.
It's because it's a Cabernet Sauvignon. When you're fancy, you have to pronounce things without actually pronouncing them, okay? So...
Nothing like a good crypto live stream and some cheap wine. Anyways, so let's talk about this whole Simpsons theory about Bart's head in the charts. That's something that came up in the crypto space.
Whenever you see a Bart, just run. Everybody knows that.
Whenever you see a Bart, just run.
Everybody knows that.
Yes, guys. So whenever you see a Bart, just run. It's something that's just one of the hot topics that's out there regarding the Bitcoin price. What does it look like, you may say? A Bart Simpson, you may say. Tim, will you please pull up a Bart?
Oh, of course. Absolutely, I will. So I'm actually going to pull up something that I really like as far as like a starting point, like some reading material for you. So here we go. Back to the internet. Here we are. All right, so as we can see, this
is so funny.
It's literally a Bart Simpson pattern, right?
That is so funny.
The reason why we call it that is because there's going to be, right? Let me get my mouse back over here. There's going to be a strong move straight up, okay? Then there's going to be just some jagged stuff like Simpson's hair, okay? Then there's going to be a strong move straight down. If we go straight up and then just kind of play in that range for a little while, chances are we're going to come straight back down. Okay, that's why they call it a Bart Simpson pattern, because it's reminiscent of the top of his hair. So, and then it's funny because it says "eat my shorts." That is a common thing that Bart Simpson would say. But also, as we know, shorts are when you open a position that profits when Bitcoin or whatever currency it is goes lower. You know, your shorts could get eaten if this is a pattern that looks a certain way.
Your shorts could get eaten.
You know, but in this stage here, this is not the accumulation stage. This is not where you want to be accumulating. This is not a good pattern to look at and be like, oh, I'm safe, everything is fine. This is like basically a triple top, right? Like, so we got, first of all, we have a triple top right here. That's what that is. Okay, so that would have told me it's a no-go, get out, right? But if you stayed in and you wanted to be brave or whatever, none of this
none of that
looks good to like stay in. But you know,
when there's consolidation, there's two ways a chart's gonna go. It's either gonna go up or down. If there was a recent
and it depends where it's consolidating.
Incline, right? If there was a recent high incline, depending on the moves of the market, time of year, literally how every other market is doing, at that point in time, you need to make your decision.
So with consolidation is an excellent point. With consolidation, if it's consolidating against the support, you can anticipate that it's going to bounce up. If it's consolidating against the resistance, right? So like, let's look at this, right? Let's look at this over here. This little chart right here was consolidating in this little pattern because it stayed within that range, but it was consolidating mostly against the lower section of that pattern.
Right.
What that means is that it didn't break through the lower section and cause this support to then become resistance. So what eventually ended up happening is it bounced off support that last, final time and then broke through this top line, which would have been considered resistance.
Right.
Okay. When you see something that's consolidating against the support, meaning it's bouncing off the support continuously, you might anticipate that it would break out from that range to the higher area. If it's getting to the resistance, but it keeps going down from there, like it's tapping the resistance, it's not going through, you might anticipate that it's actually going to do the opposite and go down on you.
That is correct.
I'm a child. Anyways, so that is one pattern.
Oh, wow.
One kind of indicator, if you will. But we do have another kind of hot topic about another sort of indicator.
We sure do. CCN recently reported about the best time to buy Bitcoin. And according to them, it's a method using the difficulty ribbon.
Okay.
Have you guys heard of that?
So mining difficulty.
Sure.
Okay. You know what? That makes a lot of sense, actually. Let's look at it. Let's look at it. Difficulty ribbon.
This one we're going to learn together. We decided to not look at this story so we can kind of dissect it with you guys. Feel free to throw any questions if you have any.
So interestingly enough, I'm just going to put this out there real quick. When I type in on Google difficulty ribbon Bitcoin, what pops up is Woobull charts. WOOBULL.com. So Woobull is actually a really cool website for like really what I call like exotic indicators.
Okay.
Not your average indicators. These are things that people have noticed a correlation and then built an indicator around. Like on Woobull, you might find a correlation between like Bitcoin and cheese prices. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm joking, but like that's how deep they get. Like, Bitcoin is moving at an inverse correlation to the
like when they did the
Ugandan dollar. Yes. The
avocados.
So you might find stuff like that on Woobull. But anyways, so I don't want to look at Woobull. That's a whole different thing. We'll talk about that maybe on a different day. There's a lot.
Story,
there's a lot that goes on there. It's a lot of, like I said, exotic indicators, but. According to CCN, this chart shows you the perfect moment to buy Bitcoin. Let's take a look at that. I love this picture. That's classy.
Yeah, it's nice.
See how they got that gradient just looking like a whole shiny little bullet? Anyways. So this is the difficulty ribbon. And according to this, whenever the ribbon thins out or converges into itself is a good time to buy Bitcoin. And the ribbon is representing the difficulty of mining Bitcoin compared to its price. So the ribbon consists of simple moving averages on mining difficulty, so we can easily see the rate of change in difficulty. And then if I zoom into this picture, we can see here that they would have said the perfect time to buy was right over here in this little area right there, which, I mean, hey, that correlated. And then if you didn't listen, here's another one that correlated.
It made sense,
So,
very interesting.
you know, then there would have maybe been some sell-off because we're getting kind of into this area where it's opening up a little bit more.
Right.
But we see that it, kind of thins itself out again. That would have been a good time to buy, I would say, based on the fact that Scoodly Boot, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow.
So then we're coming over here. This is actually where we're at now. If you remember, this is the run-up 2018 to 2019 happening over here. And then we were kind of in this little pit, right here for a while, of the pit of despair, as I called it. Do you remember this day? Do you remember this day, how sad we were? It was like, no, just hold on a little bit. Kept going down. Well, maybe just sell a little bit, but hold on to the most of it. Kept going down. Okay, no, we got to get out. And like, it was all, that day was all bad. This little section of whatever, like a couple days, we were yelling at each other. Like, it was all bad. But anyways, so we could see that somewhere in the middle of that, the difficulty versus the price action kind of shifted. And then it went on to, kind of increase in price. So right around here would have been the best place to get in. And according to this chart, that actually was the best place to get in.
Right, I see that. That's awesome.
Now let's talk about why this chart actually adds up, okay? So let's think about this. We're miners, right? Mm-hmm. Not that we're like underage, but like we're mining Bitcoin, okay? And you're Ant Pool, okay? And you're already at a well-established company that just spoke at Mining Disrupt. And you've got all these miners, you're selling mining equipment to people, like you're just really, really established, right? Do you sell every single Bitcoin that you mine to cover costs?
Oh, of course not.
No, you're already established, right?
It's nuts.
Right. So you're already established. Now me, I'm not established. This electricity cost, I'm not getting the best cost. I have a bunch of mining equipment, but it's not really, am I selling a good chunk of my Bitcoin to cover costs? I sure am. And I'm probably not even breaking even at that point. I'm probably still losing money,
right.
even though I'm selling a little bit of Bitcoin. So because of that, what ends up happening with the mining difficulty, as that is increasing, right? With me, I'm selling off more and more Bitcoin, but I'm eventually going to flush myself out because the difficulty is to a certain point that I'm not making enough Bitcoin to be able to sell enough Bitcoin to be able to cover the mining costs. So eventually, I'm going to reach a point where the difficulty has increased enough where it's no longer profitable for me to be mining Bitcoin. So I'm going to phase myself out. So that means that there's not going to be as much selling pressure every single day because the companies that are going to be left over are going to be the ant pools, like people like you who are keeping their Bitcoin. Right. So there's not as much selling pressure on the market where it's like, I got to get this Bitcoin off for whatever I can get it off for. Okay. So because I've now flushed myself out and only reputable large companies that aren't selling their Bitcoin every single time they mine it, since they're the only ones that exist now buying pressure can come in and kind of push those prices back up. So this chart is showing you a logarithmic view of what happens behind the scenes. And that's why I say this is very, very exotic. But as far as like,
it makes sense though. The way it's like laid out, it makes a lot of sense.
And you wouldn't be able to correlate this to anything else because Bitcoin mining is the only thing that happens the way that Bitcoin mining happens, right? It's not like Apple's minting new shares of their stock based on you performing math problems on your Apple computer.
Right.
Like that's not how that works, right? So this is the only, like the difficulty ribbon could only exist for Bitcoin. So it's a really, really exotic indicator that apparently has been very, very accurate thus far.
Precise.
Now, if you notice, whenever there's a switch or whenever there's a crossover, we have a good little period of where it kind of goes up in price for a while.
Right.
And even with these crazy dips, like you'd be okay to just kind of chill out for a while.
Right.
Like this was a dip back in 2013-14 that probably looked abysmal. But then, like, we went back up, you know what I'm saying? And then we kind of, chilled out. Then 2018, we went back up. Like, even if you would have... So, basically, what I'm saying is if you just get in now and just close your eyes for a few years, you'll be fine according to how Bitcoin actually moves. And so we can see that the dips themselves get longer and longer. So, right now, this little dip that we're at here, we should be able to ride this out for, like, 3-4 years and be okay.
Right.
So I think that if you were to put, obviously I'm not giving you financial advice, but whatever you do with your money is your money. You want to buy wine, you want to buy Bitcoin, it's your life. Have fun. But I would personally, I whenever I get Bitcoin or whenever I get, a little extra something and I put it in Bitcoin, I just kind of leave it there on the ledger, and it just stays there. So for me, now is a great time because according to these indicators, get in there. Whenever there's a flippening, whenever it reverses or tightens, it's supposedly the time to get in. And according to this chart, the perfect time to get in was here, and then boom, it goes up. You know, according to this chart, perfect time to get in would have been over here. Boom, look at that. Look at that. From like the hundreds of dollars, you know, sub 1,000 to 20,000, I'll take that. Yeah. Even if it's just a 20x return over like 10 years over what is this, 3 years, you know, that's a lot of cheddar. I don't care what nobody says. If I could 20x my money over 3 years, of course I'm doing that. Any hedge fund manager or account, you know, portfolio manager is going to say, yeah, go for it. You know, at least a little bit. So, you know, there's that part. Man, speaking of having a lot of exposure to Bitcoin, who is it? Pompliano that has 50% of his stuff in Bitcoin, and then Kevin from Shark Tank said like that's crazy. I think it's Pomp. Oh man, I'm gonna actually.
A lot of people think.
No, but Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank, recently went on Twitter talking about someone. I feel like it might have been Pomp, but I could be wrong. Crypto Twitter kind of is all a blur at this point.
We love you, CT. We love you, CT.
I'm gonna find it real quick.
He'll find Pomp real quick. One of our next hot topics, just if you guys just you know, feel free to look it up on your lonesome. We'll be talking about the different taxations that have been going around in cryptocurrency. It's really important. We're gonna go over North Carolina.
Oh, it was Pomp.
Woo!
Let's go. Oh
so
man.
What do you say? Tell me about Pomp real quick.
I love when I get it right. So we know who Pompliano is.
Right.
Really big proponent of Bitcoin.
Right.
You know, out there talking the good word of Bitcoin over and over again.
Right. He shows the Lightning Network.
Right. So anyways, apparently Pomp has more or about 50% of his holdings in Bitcoin right now, which is a lot. That's a very risky, you know, thing to do. I'm probably 50% or more Bitcoin, to be honest with you, in terms of like overall investments.
Right.
But that's just because we're like hardcore believers. Anyways, so Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, the bald guy from Shark Tank, I actually really like him because he's the one that says like, oh, what's stopping anyone from crushing you like the cockroach you are?
Right.
And that kind of helped me shape a lot of our business decisions, right? Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, his advice, I usually take it. But anyways, he said, in any one stock, never more than 5%. In any one sector, never more than 20%. I teach this stuff. You never go beyond concentrations of that nature. 50%, shame on you. That's nuts. I can literally see him like saying this, like.
I guess yes, but when I mean cryptocurrency in general, yes. Right now it is an investment, right? We're not at the point yet where you can go to a store and a business is going to sell you, you know, some diapers or some peanut butter and jelly for any of your cryptocurrency, right? Like we can sit here and argue about adoption and acceptances and stuff like this all day. So, you know, on his perspective, I see where he's coming from, where he thinks it's nuts. However, because cryptocurrency is on a rise, right? Like, people think the market is nuts now. Wait until, which technically can't happen, the last Bitcoin is minted, right? Like, wait until that day comes where we're like 99.99999% in. That's when things are really gonna drive, because historically we've seen.
Oh, that's gonna be in like 100 years though.
Well, sure, right?
Bitcoin's set for the next like couple hundred years based on the way it's having, right? So like if your mining reward is cut in half every certain number of blocks, which works out to be a certain number of years, right? You can cut something in half infinitely. So even when we do get to that 99% point, it will never get past theoretically that 99%.
Like I said, it technically can't
it'll
hit
always
100
it'll always be
that
cut in half. The last Bitcoin will never be minted, right? Like there will always be some Satoshis left waiting to be minted. So that's just a fun fact for y'all.
Fun fact. But yeah, like, you know, it's one of those things where because of the value of the asset, because think about it. If you have, you know, something that someone wants, that's where, you know, driving up the value really counts. Mm-hmm. That's where things, you know, start. Like, at that point in time, Bitcoin will probably trade at a more even and precise, you know, I guess, momentum.
Sure. Sure.
But like we can look at a Goldman Sachs, thing, and it's up in like the 200,000s, right? Like which one am I thinking of? It starts with an H. It's like 250,000 for like one of those stocks.
Oh, you're thinking of Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah, Berkshire Hathaway. So
Berkey Hath.
Right. So I mean, it's things that it grew, and within due time. Bitcoin's, I feel like it's also going to be one of those things that is going to grow in due time.
You can buy B shares of Berkey Hath, by the way. You don't have to shell out.
Am I going to sit here and say that no one ever, threw in a bunch of investments? Some of the big dogs that we know today literally became a big dog because they just literally just threw money at the wall because they were confident.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I'm not going to sit here and call someone crazy because they threw 50%. I understand the ideology, right? Because you're already there. However, for those people who really believe in something and historically has been proven time and time again to progress, I'm not mad because someone threw all their money at the wall. I'm not upset. Personally, but hey, that's just me.
I'm not upset neither.
Money cycles around, right? Money cycles around. It's this thing that we make up. Literally every money that every fiat that it's made up. Somebody made it up, right? So, I mean, for someone else to make up the next thing like quantum, currency or whatever that will destroy maybe Bitcoin one day, it's not impossible. And who's to say who's going to make the quantum currency, how much is going to be valued at, there's a lot of possibilities that can go into this.
First of all, my friends at Cardano are trying to make ADA to be quantum proof, which I think is amazing.
Cool. That's cool.
The only thing is so the issue with quantum computers is not that they would make Bitcoin obsolete or whatever the case may be. The issue with quantum computing is that you're able to run a lot of operations at once. And so
a lot of operations.
Right. So
like a million math questions within seconds.
Well, more than that. But yeah. So like the issue becomes then if it takes a certain amount of time to brute force hack a Bitcoin wallet, right? Not anyone's specific wallet, but for you to just guess over and over again a private key and then check it and then see if it links to a public key or whatever, right? If there's however many, possible Bitcoin wallets, some like number of like 100 trillion or it's a crazy number that just doesn't make any sense. Like more Bitcoin wallets can exist than like grains of sand or like something like that. But like a quantum computer can sift through all of that super fast,
right,
and then expose a bunch of private keys and then control the Bitcoin that's inside those wallets.
Right.
That's kind of the issue with quantum computing. And it's not that you would lose money, it's that the entire Bitcoin network would just cease to be a thing.
Right.
Because it wouldn't matter anymore. One person controls all the money, no one gets to spend it anymore. Because I'm not accepting the money from the one person, like it just is no longer currency. So that's the issue that we have with quantum computing and currencies that aren't quantum proof. So Bitcoin is absolutely going to have to be able to adopt some of, let's say like ADA, for example, some of their technology to be.
It's not going to work otherwise.
Right. That is one of the real fears that I have. It's that and a worldwide like EMP, like an electromagnetic pulse or whatever, where it takes out everything that's made of electricity, like just no longer works. Like what's going to happen if the internet does not exist on the entire planet? You know what I'm saying? Like Bitcoin's gone. That's why it's like gold is a pretty safe asset to be in because like if nothing else works, gold would definitely work, right? But the issue becomes...
I guess that's where the Bitcoin, or the, not Bitcoin, but cryptocurrency backed by gold comes in.
The issue with gold and cryptocurrencies that are backed by gold is that most people don't physically take delivery of the gold that they've invested in. They believe that they're investing in gold because some investment company has told them that you're investing in gold, right. But you've never been to the vault. You don't actually take delivery of it. Like if you want to invest in gold and precious metals, what I would advise is that you actually invest in gold and precious metals, like physically, and keep them at home. Don't keep them anywhere, maybe don't keep them at home. Keep them somewhere safe. I don't know.
Definitely somewhere safe.
If you keep them at home, don't tell nobody.
Storage
keep
in a
them
hard
at home.
box. Honestly, storage in a hard box somewhere.
Right. But not at a bank, though.
No.
Like, I wouldn't keep it at a bank because if the internet goes down, there's no... Like, the bank doesn't keep records on a piece of paper. They're not going to be able to look you up and say, like, oh, yeah, you belong in the vault to be able to take out your stuff. They're just going to hold it and see what happens in the future and try to make the best of it. But in order for you to be safe today, for you, if you want to invest in precious metals, which I can't tell you not to because that's the only thing that's, like, physical. Like, we've been using it as currency forever. You know, like definitely a good hedge for you. You know, I would keep it, you know, tucked away somewhere where you can access, but no one else can access.
Correct.
So.
Also, hello, American Crypto. How are you?
Sup, homie?
Sup.
Sup.
Yeah,
Sup.
sup. So, yes. Wonderful information, Tim. Tim is full of knowledge. I hope you guys know that. Moving on.
I don't get my credit all the time, but you know what I'm saying? I do what I can. I don't like to be.
I just gave you some credit.
The thing about that was funny. That was a really funny joke. The thing about it is it's not even that like I'm super smart and all this stuff. Like let me stop. Like, yeah, I am. I'm pretty smart. Whatever.
I was just bragging about it.
But like I don't. My thing is honestly is that I don't like being wrong on the internet.
That's your biggest fear.
It really is. Like imagine someone was
Somebody
like
pulls the receipts.
Right. Someone pulled my receipts on the internet. Like I'll be mortified. I'll die.
They'll go Reddit on you.
No, I can't. Y'all would never find me on like some Reddit like exposed. Like I just it would not happen because like I can't be wrong on the internet.
You're okay.
And
don't worry.
I correct people all the time. Matter of fact, speaking of correcting people, someone right now in the comments, please tell me the origin of the word hodl. HODL looks like hold, means the same thing as hold.
Oh, you won't let this go.
I just want someone to tell me what the origin of the word hodl is. What does it mean? What does hodl mean?
If anybody really, knows crypto, you should know the origin of hodl.
Some people don't know.
Yes, it was misspelled.
Cheryl said it was misspelled. It was a typo. Okay.
Now, some people think that the origin of hodl, for some odd reason, is hold on for dear life. They think somebody sat there and made up an acronym and put it on the internet. I just don't understand, right? I don't understand why people actually think that. When you break it down, the logic of it, it just doesn't make sense. Like, why would I sit there and go, oh, hodl, and they go, let me make an acronym up. Like, it's one of those things. It's something that, it turned into hold on for dear life. Somebody said that.
Someone erroneously said that, and it stuck.
Right.
But that's not what it means.
But, he's just doing that because there was somebody who literally argued him on the internet today regarding the origin of the word hodl.
I made a meme about that person.
Yeah, and they really thought that it was the acronym hold on for dear life. And, I mean, if you think about it, why on earth would I sit there, make up an acronym, and then type it in, not even state the acronym within that same sentencing? Like, there's literally a history online of how it was used.
I'm gonna do it. Bitcoin talk.
What do people use BTC for? I mean, honestly, right now to hold. So BTC really is seen as a asset. Right? BTC is seen as an asset. A lot of people see it as an asset. It's the one that, you want to hold on to. That's why there's a lot of other currencies that come into play, such as, BCH, ABC, BCHSV. There's stable coins that are pegged to the US dollar because that seems to be, the top currency, quote unquote, in the world. I do believe that other currencies that have a stable value would probably be used at a store. Because, it's a really, why would I, people want to do all crypto events. I would love to host an event and, throw a huge party and have people pay me, $10 to come in crypto. However, how many people really want to give me their Bitcoin? Let's be honest. How many people really want to give me their Bitcoin? That's the issue that I run into Bitcoin when I say, okay, well, stores should accept it. Yes, the value fluctuates. However, we all know that eventually it'll run up. However, I feel like people aren't as comfortable as giving up Bitcoin as they are to say, let's give up, let's say some Monero. Let's say they want to give up some Tether, something that has more of a stable value to the currency that we use today. That's what people envision. To really have a currency that works in stores, you need to have something that holds a steady value.
Wrong.
Sure. Test. Okay. Why is it wrong?
So no currency has a stable value. In fact, most currencies
correct.
are going down. You're right about the issue with spending Bitcoin is most people don't want to spend Bitcoin and then have a pizza day named after them because they were an idiot that spent 10,000 Bitcoin on one piece of pizza. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the issue, like you said, is that people don't want to spend it. However, in order for us as a community to take Bitcoin to the next level, we do in fact have to be willing to spend it. We do in fact have to be like, okay, you know what? I am going to potentially take this hit and buy this pizza.
But why can't I just buy, the pizza or something else with another currency?
What's the difference? If you listen, if you really think about it, what's the difference? If you have to take $50 USD and convert it into some currency, right? Bitcoin, Monero, Tether, whatever it is, and then spend that, what is the difference between you using that for pizza and you taking that $50 and just putting it on Bitcoin and not spending it? There is no difference. At the end of the day, you spent $50 USD in whatever time frame it was of that money, right? So when people say like, oh, well, you can use DAI, Maker Coin, or you can use, whatever else instead. I mean, theoretically, yeah, sure, you definitely could. But you also could just use Bitcoin and not bitch about it. Like, I get it. If I didn't spend that Bitcoin, it would have been worth more now. Yeah, but if you didn't spend that Bitcoin, this business wouldn't know that Bitcoin is something that they could accept, and we wouldn't be pushing forward with adoption.
I feel like this is one of those things where to really, really, really have a true currency, not only do we need to have a currency that's accepted, globally, really to make this digital currency thing work is one, we need to solve all the problems that literally encompasses every other fiat that we have for every country, which is going across borders, value, sustainability, inflation. There's a lot of topics that go around that. To truly have a digital currency that works for the people, it needs to be global. It needs to follow inflation. It needs to be accessible on a global scale. It needs to retain its value. Like I said, follow inflation. That's something that's super important, because if there's a currency that negates inflation, at that point in time, we're going to end up like Bolivar, right? Where my currency is devalued at 95%, or so on and so forth. Or we're going to have, the whole, this is pegged to this and this falls down, however much pips over time, like we've seen on Forex 100 times before. That's just my opinion. Like, to really have a true global currency that works for the people, it needs to be something that encompasses somewhat of those characteristics.
To add to that, the actual process for something becoming a currency, and we're not just talking about someone making a currency and saying this is going to be a currency, right? The actual process for people accepting something as a currency is three-part. First, it needs to be scarce, because it absolutely needs to start as a collectible, okay? Mm-hmm. Gold, ooh, shiny, I want to collect, okay? So it starts as a collectible, okay? After it's a collectible, after it's something that's scarce that people want just to have, it then becomes a store of value. Because if I'm collecting these wine bottles and there's only 21 million in the world, and I think that they're cool just because they're shiny and they have cool stuff on them, and I start collecting them, right? That means that because I'm collecting them and they're scarce, they're even more scarce because I've started collecting them, you've started collecting them. People have amassed a collection of these wine bottles, right? And so I've got 100, you've got 100, our friend Crypto finally has 100. Erica from the Blockchain Center, she's got 100. Right. I'm just naming names right now. But anyways, so, it becomes this even more scarce object because it's a collectible, okay? Then, from being a collectible, it's a store of value, because I know that because people are collecting this thing, it has some sort of, like, people want to buy it for some amount of money or some amount of trade or whatever the case may be. From there, once it's established itself as a store of value, it can then become a currency, okay? Right. Gold almost got there, right? Gold became a collectible. It was shiny. Oh, shiny gold. I love it. It's amazing. Then it became a store of value, but it's not actively used as a currency today. It could have been, and for a little while it was used as a currency, but as more and more people began to adopt it and gold became more and more valuable, it was impossible to use as a currency. Like, I can't take a gram of gold and buy anything, right? Right. So the issue with gold is not that it wouldn't have worked. It would have worked as a currency, but it wasn't divisible enough. See, Bitcoin addresses that. That's why Bitcoin's amazing, right? All those decimal places make it so that Bitcoin is divisible all the way down to when Bitcoin's worth $1 million, I can still send you $1 of Bitcoin. right? You can't do that with gold. If 1 ounce of gold was worth $1 million, what am I gonna sell you? Some gold? I'm gonna blow gold at you.
Blow gold at you.
Here's some gold dust to cover like the cost of whatever it is. Like, there's no way, right? So that's why gold failed as a currency. Okay, because it didn't tackle the scarcity thing well enough, because obviously you can just mine gold literally from the ground, okay?
Right.
But then also it wasn't able to become a currency because it's not divisible enough. But Bitcoin addressed that. Bitcoin addressed all of the issues with money and became the digital money of the future, literally.
So here's this. What about the immersion curve regarding Bitcoin?
The emission curve.
Emission curve. Sorry, I said immersion. Wow.
When you say emission curve, ¿qué? What are you saying to me?
So the emission curve encompasses a few things. It
Okay, tell me.
encompasses the decentralization aspect of Bitcoin. It encompasses the limited supply of Bitcoin, and it encompasses the deflation of Bitcoin. Those three things are what some people
I'm gonna have to Google that.
Right. Those are three things that some people regard to as the emission curve. So by the year 2140, if I'm not mistaken, all the Bitcoin will be mined. As we know, it's kind of impossible to mine all the Bitcoin because of the halving rate. So yes, there will be a very choked supply.
Okay, I get it. Got you. I get it. Okay.
You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what do you think about that? Because that's another question that we have.
Again,
before.
like we were mentioning earlier, right? There's 21 million Bitcoin that will technically ever exist. Now, you also have to keep in mind that number is not specifically accurate, because if I've sent Bitcoin to a Bitcoin Cash address, that Bitcoin's gone forever, right? If I sent Bitcoin to a Bitcoin SV address, that Bitcoin's gone forever. Like, there's no way to send it back. And
Right.
it just, does it technically exist? Yes. Is it accessible to anyone? No. So there are some Bitcoin that is destroyed by human error, which, whatever, what are you going to do? Right.
Lost in the space.
But as far as the emission curve, based on the way that inflation, deflation, the creation of new Bitcoin, and
So what about mass adoption? How can you grant
hold
mass
on,
adoption?
we're getting there, right?
Well,
Mass
they're
adoption is
playing
part
with
of it. So the
Okay.
more people that are using Bitcoin, right,
Uh-huh.
the less that it matters how much new Bitcoin is minted every day,
Okay.
and how much Bitcoin actually exists.
Uh-huh.
Because at a certain point, we're gonna get to a stage where there's more people that are using Bitcoin than the supply could even compensate for.
Okay.
So the emission curve eventually is not gonna really matter, but that's something that you're definitely gonna want to pay attention to for let's use XRP for example, because everyone loves hating on Ripple and XRP, right?
Okay.
And I'm on both sides of the fence with that. Like, I understand the Bitcoin maximalists that are like, oh, XRP is not a currency, it's for banks, blah blah blah, whatever. But then I can also understand the other side where it's like, well, traditionally banks are the ones that get rich. So like, if there's a way for me to get rich with the banks, why would I not do that, right?
Okay.
But so with XRP, right, all of the XRP is already minted, and that's the case for the majority of the altcoins that are out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all of the XRP is already minted, but 60% of the supply is owned by Ripple Labs, right?
Right.
That's something that you want to pay attention to the emission curve a little bit more than something like Bitcoin, where new coins are minted as they go, right? Even something like Bitcoin Cash, all of the Bitcoin that existed at one point, like 1-to-1, you were granted when Bitcoin Cash hard forked, right? So like at one fell swoop, they minted like 16 or 17 million
Fell swoop.
Bitcoin Cash, right?
Interesting.
Which is not the case for Bitcoin,
Got it.
which is why it's super, super lit. So when people say like, oh, we're at 85% of all the Bitcoin mined that will ever be mined, I mean, yeah, we technically are, but then it's going to go to, 90%. And then from 90, it's only going to go to 92. And then from 92, it's only going to go to 93. And then from 93, it's only going to go to 93 and a half. Like, the amount of Bitcoin that is mined at any one given moment is going to like shrink and shrink and shrink as the years go on.
Right.
Like, it's not going to increase at a crazy, crazy rate. Whereas like other currencies, you don't know what their supply is going to be in, the next 30 days even, right? Like every 30 days or every 30 something days, 30 and a half days, Ripple Labs releases from escrow 1 billion tokens, right? Now, most of those tokens end up making it back into escrow, but we don't know that for sure. We don't know exactly how many are going to make it back into escrow, how many they're not going to be able to sell. And, so, I mean, it really, the emission curve is something that's cool to look at and to be cognizant of and be aware of. But for Bitcoin specifically, not crazy important. For other currencies, you definitely want to look at that. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Fair point.
I'm pretty saucy right now. I'm not going to lie to you guys.
Fair point. Did anybody have any questions on that? I see American Crypto, he was talking about, whales are playing with you. 80% of mined Monero, it was mined by one person.
So I believe that the whales, I do a thing that I call whale watching, right?
Whale watching.
Where I subscribe to a couple different Twitter feeds that are looking for very large transactions that can only be.
I remember when you showed me.
Right.
There was this one with a little whale and it had like a little siren on top of its head. It was
Right,
so cute.
right. So I literally whale watch. It's like it's a hobby of mine, right?
Right.
So watching those different cryptos or whatever that people have a large amount of and they're moving the market or whatever, eventually we're going to get to a point where one of two things is going to happen. Either there's going to be more whales than regular people, or there's going to be more regular people than whales. Like obviously there's more regular people than whales, but I'm talking about in terms of like who holds the most BTC, right? Eventually one of those two things is going to happen. And either we're going to see like, oh, this is just a whale move, let's ignore it.
This is a whale move.
Or we're going to see like, oh, this is a people move, let's go with it, right?
Right.
So you want to go with the people moves, not specifically the whale moves. Unless, right, like we're right now where it's, the whales kind of do control a little something here and there. In that case, if you can whale watch successfully and when they're going to, spout from their blowhole or whatever, you might be able to kind of latch onto that and make a little money off the tail of the whale. That is definitely something I do sometimes, but for the most part, I just hodl. As far as Monero being mined by one person, 80% of all Monero that exists was mined by one person. First of all, that's wild. That's crazy. I did not know that fact, and I appreciate you bringing that to light. Like I said, hopefully, when I said earlier how like mining works, hopefully that was a small time miner and they sold the majority of their Monero to the open market and it's now just kind of out there. Because if one person holds 80% of any currency, like that's crazy. Like you just do not mess with that currency. Like there's no way. Like if I own 80% of a currency, like I don't even care if people are using it to buy things. Like I just don't care about anything. Like it's just that's my, if I own 80% of any currency, that's my currency. Like you guys can do whatever you want, but I set the prices for sure. Because I can just bid and ask against myself all day long. So be careful with that. That's my only thing about that. The whales are playing you. How can you get
Truth. Yes, truth. It is the truth, guys. I do want you to know this. It's a sticky world out
The
there.
whales are playing you only sometimes, though. It really depends on who you
Not
are.
unless you're a shark. You want to eat that whale.
Right. I'm a shark. We're sharks. We're out
sharks.
here. Like we kind of, and I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's sometimes where people tell us stuff that like we're just like, yo, are we supposed to know that? Like, are we? This is crazy. Does everyone know this thing, or like, is it just like an us thing right now? Like, what's happening? So like that does happen. Like we learn about new cryptos, and like then they end up doing like 300 like X or whatever, and it's just like, whoa, like we knew about that. But anyway, so as far as like the whales playing us, the whales are playing the majority of the people out there because the majority of the people are not invested into the education of understanding how this stuff actually works, right? But like I always tell people, if you can understand trading on an emotional level, right?
Emotional.
Like you leave your emotions
So,
at
guys,
home.
Show some emotion.
No, when you're trading, you leave your emotions at home and you make your bets against everyone else's emotions, right?
Ah, I see. So you're the bastard, and then everyone else is
Sure,
the sucker.
sure.
Gotcha.
People trade emotionally. I can't listen. If I'm gonna be a dummy and not make money off the fact that other people are emotional about things, like that's my fault for being a dummy. Like I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna be smart about it and understand, like, okay, these retail traders are trading 100% based off emotion. Every time CNN comes out with a story bashing Bitcoin, the price goes down.
There's actually a story about CNN. They were kind of shilling Bitcoin.
I'm not listen. I'm not saying that that's like
Not
the
that
actual
they're
case,
bad,
but if I was to find some sort of a correlation, right? Like if I was to make my own exotic indicator, right? I'm gonna follow it. If it just so happens that the price of Bitcoin always goes up after a move down, after the sheep are misled, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna wait for the sheep to be misled. I'm gonna then put my money in, and I'm gonna go up. Right. Am I gonna tell people about it? Sure, but like as my reach, my reach doesn't have the whole eToro. My reach, I don't reach the whole world. You know what I'm saying? I have a small circle of people who listen and trust me.
Right.
If you listen and trust me, we can get money together. Otherwise, like, you know, I'm not gonna cry about it if you lose money and I make money. What am I gonna do? I need to eat. I'm hungry. Like, what do you want from me?
That's true. It's okay to be hungry.
I can't lose money and be like, oh, well, I lost money because everyone else is losing money and I want to be a team player. No, I don't want to be a team player. I want to make this money.
It's okay, Tim. It's okay. Everyone tell Tim it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We're okay. Don't worry.
Damn, girl, you saucy like I am.
No, you're saucy.
I'm sauced up. I don't care what nobody says.
Let's move on to our next hot topic. Another hot topic, general umbrella, is tax. So tax has been something that has been generating over time. Of course, you made a mess on your white shirt.
It's one little drop.
Tax has been something that's been like worrying a couple people in the crypto space, of course. So let's start about North Carolina. So North Carolina introduced a bill, right? So it's supposed to reduce double taxation on cryptocurrency. You know, the representative from North Carolina realizes Bitcoin's not going anywhere, which is good. So there's at least a positive approach towards this. Now, this bill is called the Virtual Value Tax Fix Act. And it was first proposed in the last congressional session. However, it's been reproposed. And now it's been introduced by the North Carolina representative, Ted Budd. Hey, Bud.
Ted what? What's his last name?
Bud. B-U-D-D. Bud.
Ted Budd.
Bud.
I heard butt.
No, not a butt, Bud.
Ted Butt.
Wow, if my name was Ted Butt, let me tell you something, my last name, Butt, no.
No, if my name was like Pat, like Patrick Butt, Pat Butts.
Pat Butts. That's funny. You know, there was a person I knew, his last name was Balls, and his parents were 100% trying to mess with this kid's life. They named him Harry.
No.
So his name was Harry Ball.
Are you serious?
Yes. His name was Ball. Last name Ball, first name Harry. Harry Ball. Sometimes people said Harry Balls. But, you know, it was actually very funny. You know, feel bad for the kid. But, you know, hey.
Hold on real quick. What I want to do is I do want to shout out Crypto Don Fepe, I want to say.
Shout out to Crypto Don Fepe.
It looks like it should be Pepe, but it's Fepe because there's an F in there.
Fepe.
So, anyways, the fact that you are watching right now, first of all, and then also, you know, you've tweeted, you know, you've retweeted things, you've tweeted to our
awesome guy.
You know, I definitely appreciate that.
Support your friends. That's what we do here.
Because I look, first of all, let me tell you something about this picture that you put on Twitter. I look all types of crazy. Okay. I went from my, you know, my little, you know, valley.
I came straight out the shower and said, "Let's do this."
I went from my like valley girl, like, you know, whatever. But you know, that picture just did not come out how I thought it was gonna come out. But anyways, I appreciate you shilling us. That's definitely something that we need. So
shill the real. That's your slogan. Shill the real. What?
Shill the real, baby.
Anyways.
I would say like, oh, I'm gonna make a shirt about it, but someone would steal it and like literally make a shirt about it.
No, you guys, you know what? Our last live stream,
fucking guy,
we were gonna make a shirt about something, and literally the last second, someone's like, "Oh, not if I steal it first." Guess what they did? They stole it. They actually changed it, right? So I'm not gonna say they stole the whole thing. They changed
Nah, they
it.
took it. I don't care.
No, they changed it, right?
One word.
Right? Sure, but nothing's monetized here. If you say it on air, it is what it is. That's how the world works.
Bitch, everything's
But I thought
monetized.
it
What are you
was
talking
so
about? I'm trying to get this
funny.
money.
I thought it was funny.
I'm
right?
hungry.
It was funny. It was funny.
Speaking of me being hungry, the Bitcoin address is in the description. And we have a tippin.me somewhere. Hold on.
A tippin.me. I have a tippin.me on my Twitter, so feel free to tip me anytime.
No, you definitely do. I need to make one for me too.
You should make one.
But also, we collectively have a tippin.me
Like collectively, like I
that
said,
I'm gonna put in.
So Tim does that, let me explain to you a little more about this North Carolina bill that's going on. So basically, it's supposed to put a 40% tax on crypto.
40%?
Yes, 40%. That's a lot.
First of all, here's the thing, right? Check me out. Let's say, hypothetically, and I'm not telling you how to evade taxes. Wink, super wink. I'm not telling you how to evade taxes, but if I buy more than $20,000 worth of Bitcoin or whatever with Coinbase, they're going to report that to the IRS. If I then send that to an address that I don't have any KYC on, for example, a Ledger Nano, link in the description. If I send that to a Ledger Nano or whatever, there's no proof that I actually own that address.
That's true.
So there's no proof that I did anything more than spend money.
That's true.
All I did was spend
That's a
money
fair point.
and I got some bits of digital information in return. You can't tax me on that. Oh, the digital information that you earned or that you bought went up in value, so you have to pay us money. First of all, I immediately sent that to a wallet that I don't control because I wanted to buy something. So I took money and I turned it into other money and I bought something. If you go on vacation, right, and you stop by a travel desk or whatever and they do a currency exchange for you, you don't pay extra taxes on that because the currency's fluctuated. Like, who even... When I'm on vacation, I'm not paying attention to like the currency fluctuating. I'm just taking my USD, I'm converting it to euros, and I'm spending the euros.
That's true.
You can't tell me that I didn't buy the BTC with USD and then spend the BTC. You can't tell me that.
So here's my thing with this, right? So it says 40% on transactions. What transactions? Me cashing out? Me buying, stuff? Are you taxing companies 40% of all their transactions? Are you taxing me 40% of all my transactions? There's like a lot of,
you can't do that though. You can't tax me on transactions.
That goes into this.
States, a state is allowed to tax you on transactions, right? That's why we're in the state of Florida, right? So we pay about a 6.5% sales tax, right?
Right, sales tax.
If you want to tax me a sales tax, by all means, go for it. I don't care, right? But you're not going to sit there and say that, oh, I'm taxing you 40% on crypto just on the strength that you own crypto. Like, whoa, what are you saying? First of all, it could have gone down. Like, I could have lost money. Like, what are you saying to me right now?
Right. There's a lot of things, a lot of different things that
I'm sauced out for real right now, but like that's crazy. Like, you can't.
There's a lot of things that go into that, but that's one of the tax, I guess, concepts that are going around right now. Another one is the British authorities. So the British authorities are trying to get companies to help them with tax evaders. People who try to get out on tax. They're going to exchanges. They're asking them for information. So basically, ByNance last year, 2018, America asking, them for certain information to report it, right? Like just like Tim mentioned, if you make over, 20K or invest over 20K on Binance, it needs to be reported to the IRS. Same concept. British authorities are trying to do that now. They're trying to catch people who are trying to, go around the tax clause. Instead of paying taxes, they go into crypto, let's say. So they're reaching out to exchanges, basically asking them to report people.
I'm very saucy.
Basically asking them to report people that are not reporting, their investments on these exchanges if they function within the British colonies. So that's another thing that's going on.
Here's my thing about taxes. Just don't pay them.
Yes, Tim. You don't want to pay taxes.
No, listen, I pay all my taxes.
I'm over here laughing because I can't even.
I pay all my taxes. So Crypto Don Fepe says, I saw that he did it quick with that T. Yeah, super quick. It was ridiculous. It made no sense. Like ASAP.
Yes.
But also in the chat, I've linked, accidentally, I put the Coinbase Earn again for EOS. So if you're just watching right now, you haven't seen the beginning of our stream, Coinbase gives out like literally like more than $100 like worth of cryptocurrency that you could have not ever spent money on Coinbase and sign up for Coinbase Earn and immediately get like $100 some shit of cryptocurrency. So you might as well just do that. There is a link in the chat. Oh God, excuse me for that. Also, I found our tipin.me. So if you want to send a small tip through the Lightning Network of some
little. If you burp like that, you gross duck.
First of all, you fart. Okay, I've heard you fart. So cat's out of the bag. I'm drunk. Sorry.
Well, of course I fart. I'm human, but I haven't been like farting up this space.
Nah, fam. You be like.
I'm sure the big
You fart like Baka not nice.
No, I'm a girl.
I
poop butterflies and I fart flowers.
If anybody knows that song and can like link it or like put some lyrics or whatever, like I'll probably send you some Bitcoin or whatever, because like that would make me so happy right now if someone that's watching right now know that song. Like that would make me so happy.
That's so funny. Let me just throw out our last topic.
Hold on. Look, so a part of your last topic, Cheryl actually wrote something back.
What is
so
it?
Specifically, the bill reads that no gain or loss shall be recognized on the exchange of real property held for productive use in a trade or business or for investments such as real property is extra.
Exchange, I'm assuming. This bill is seeking the exchange of virtual currency to virtual currency to be treated in the same manner as the exchange of real property to real property. Okay.
So basically, right, if I buy a house and the value of that house appreciates, I do not pay taxes on that until I convert that house to US dollars.
So that's the same thing that happens with the stock or any other, asset that you may have.
Right.
That's very similar.
You don't have to pay taxes until you convert it from a stock, from a holding, from a property, from whatever to US dollars.
Tax if you convert your cryptocurrency to USD.
But that's wild.
That's a lot of money. I'm not gonna lie. That's like, top of the tax bracket kind of tax. Like,
that's wild.
That's a lot. That's what happens when you go to other countries. Even when I remember when I was in the Dominican Republic and I was with my great aunt. She was coming over to the United States. She's getting old, so, she needed someone to take care of her now.
Right.
But she was selling her house and she was converting all her, Dominican pesos over to American dollars, and they were charging her, I think it was like 60%.
60%?
It was ridiculous.
Oh my God.
Like, it made no sense. Honestly, it was ridiculous. But, that's one of those things where you really just, cryptocurrency just, kicks the boot all around that. I'd rather pay, in this case, 40%. Crypto Jake says, oh, hi. Hi.
Hey, Crypto Jake. We was just talking poo-poo about you.
Yeah, Tim's going to fight you in real life.
No, we're going to fight. So to address the comments real quick, don't come to thanks for the shirt idea, bruv. Get out of here. Oh, Truce. Hey, my dog Truce in the building. Yo, so just real quick, I'm gonna address all these comments.
You should. So if you head down to Deerfield Beach, you know what? You can come out and hang out with the Bits and Tokens crew.
Facts. Listen, if you're ever in South Florida, if you want to hang out with us, let us know. We'll figure it out. We'll make it happen. We'll do something, because security don't play, but we'll make it happen. But listen, so Crypto Don Fepe says, don't come to NYC. I may be heading back down to Florida, Deerfield Beach. First of all, shout out Deerfield Beach. Super cool place.
I love Deerfield Beach.
Also, shout out to NYC. I'm actually from NYC. Jerome is also from NYC.
Okay, so not shout out from NYC. 2 reasons. 1, it's cold. 2, it's crowded. 3, F those bit licenses. Let me tell you something. F those bit licenses.
Let me address all three. Let me address all three of those points. One, it's cold, aka we have all 4 seasons. Where in Florida we don't have all 4 seasons. We literally have summer. We have summer, and then we have like not exactly summer. So then.
Don't worry, Crypto Jake. I stuck up for you. You did
listen,
change
no,
it,
she did. She did. But at the same time, Crypto Jake, we gotta fight, dog. We gotta fight. You didn't even take not even 10 minutes to steal my idea, boy. We gotta fight. And listen, Crypto Jake. Listen. Crypto Jake is mad smart because he didn't do it like on the Crypto Jake Twitter. He did it on like some other. You little fuck.
His all about BTC.
Anyways, you little fuck. Listen, I'm the most like capitalist, like libertarian person ever. So like, I'm not mad at you in that regard, but like, I'm mad at you as far as like.
So funny.
Listen, as far as you being like Jake, you're a cool guy. But as far as you being Bitcoin Jake, we have beef. So.
It was funny, but yeah. Anyways, guys, where were we?
So you addressed that it's cold. You addressed that there's too many people. Okay. Right. What I would venture to say is like, NY is special because like as you leave your house, right?
It's expensive, and there's people that are gonna rob you.
No, as you leave your house, something is happening.
Something's gonna stab you, probably.
No. We'll talk about stabbings in a second because California is just really terrible about their legislation. Anyways, so as you leave your house in NYC, something is happening, right?
Yes, people are dying all around.
Your block is jumping. You know what I'm saying? Like people are out there. Someone's playing hopscotch. Someone's playing double dutch. Like something is happening on your block.
There's a hobo zombie.
It's not popping like that over here. Like you can't just interact with people.
It's not as. It's okay. So the infrastructure of Florida and New York City. And
we don't even have sidewalks. Where's our sidewalk? We don't have no damn sidewalks.
Some places don't have sidewalks. They weren't built that way for some reason. Which
crazy.
Is I think that's really weird. If you don't have somewhere where there's a sidewalk, that's strange.
That's disrespectful.
Anyways,
that's disrespectful.
I think that's strange, but you know, it is what it is. Everyone picks their things. Last quick tax topic that I had was regarding South Korea.
Wait, hold on. Get to that in a second because the last thing that you said about NYC, which I'm gonna defend, is the crypto little bill that they have where you have to have your bit license or whatever. They're just trying to look out for the people. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to do their best or whatever. I think it's stupid. So we're on the same page there. But they are trying to do their best for the people. Whatever. Go ahead.
Is my mic on? Is my mic on? Can you guys hear me? Jake, my mic is supposed to be on. I don't see why it wouldn't be on.
It's on. It's definitely on.
It's definitely on.
It's just that I'm yelling because I'm a little saucy right now, and she's not exactly yelling when she usually is yelling.
Hold on. Anyways, so
hey, you got a condo in DR, Crypto Don Fepe? That's awesome. What's up.
That's awesome.
He trolling. Bitcoin Jake, you trolling, fam.
Quick, last hot topic regarding
we're gonna have
tax.
to fight.
South Korea. South Korea is our last hot topic regarding tax. So what South Korea is trying to do is that they are trying to bring all the crypto exchanges under direct regulation with the South Korean government.
Whoa, hold on. South Korea, relax.
Right. So they're trying to bring, so South Korea is kind of progressive in terms of, you know, cryptocurrency at one point in time. Things have kind of varied between now and then because of the FIU, the Financial Intelligence Unit.
Their FSC, the Financial Services Committee or whatever, typically does make the right call, I would say. I'm going to give them super air quotes on that. Anytime I say super, it means basically like not really, but like I'm going to give them super air quotes on that. They usually do the right thing. So.
I mean, from what it looks like, what's going to happen is that they're shifting away from current practice.
It's hard to hear you. Here, get that in there.
Whoa, okay.
Get that in there.
So, wow, this is really close to my face. That's fine.
It's fine. Get that in there.
So, apparently, what's happening is that they're shifting away from current practices from what they do for regulating crypto exchanges.
Shout out Minecraft.
Directly by providing administrative guidance to domestic banks. What they're going to do is that they're going to try to take over all regulation. So, instead of redirecting people to banks for regulations and guidance, they will be taking it over as a government.
That's dumb.
That's essentially what's happening.
Define a bank. What is a bank?
Somewhere that takes my money and charges me interest for no reason, which I hate.
Listen, my thing about banks is like, I'm a bank, you're a bank. We host our own Bitcoin wallets. We're technically a bank at that point, or as you would preferably say, at that rate, we're a bank.
Right, but every place in every country has its own, monetizing or monetary license.
Yeah, and every kiss begins with K.
Every kiss begins with K. No, it doesn't.
Bow.
So,
no, it don't. Sorry.
But
Rap
yeah,
battles.
I mean,
Rap battles. Sorry.
It's something that as a country they have to figure out. It's something that they're trying to shift away from indirect, regulation with the banks to direct regulations under the government. Will or will it not be beneficial to do this? Depending on how the government does it exactly, whether they're doing it, somewhat where Wyoming, where they have a task force, where they have people that are going to sit here and make sure that it's not going to implicate any of the space or jeopardize it in that sense.
Yo,
sure.
I'm sauced
Are you
out.
going to, try to pull a Texas on us where you're trying to ban this and ban that and, try to do this and you actually depreciate your people from technology out there that's progressing in the world? Absolutely not. Don't do that.
If you have to pick one, whether you want to be a Texas or you want to be a Wyoming,
I would be Wyoming 100%.
Be a Wyoming.
I would not be anything else. Wyoming by far is the most advanced regulatory state for cryptocurrency within the United States, and that's not a question. Malta is one of the most advanced countries with cryptocurrency regulations within the world.
Now, I will say this. In all fairness to a lot of our friends out here in the Miami crypto, community area space, whatever you want to say, we're working on it. We are working on it. South Florida is gearing up to be crypto central for the United States. However, currently, I would definitely have to award that to Wyoming.
Right.
And definitely not Texas or NYC.
Not that Wyoming, could be the top of the top forever, but the fact that Wyoming has taken the integrity of, properly establishing different things over time, that is fantastic.
Here's a super random thought that I just had. Anyone who's watching right now, do you have any interest in perhaps maybe writing crypto articles and leaving your little tippin.me tip jar at the bottom of it? If so, bitsandtokens.com is looking for additional writers. Surprise.
It's been a while since we had articles.
Surprise, fun fact, but we are looking for additional writers, and I'm super cool with you leaving your tippin.me and all other contact information at the bottom of your post or whatever. But we are in fact looking for additional writers. So if anyone is interested in writing crypto stories and being kind of more out there as like a crypto, professional, a crypto, personality or whatever, we are looking to kind of make that happen for you, because with all of the other stuff that I do. So here's how it used to work is we used to all be responsible for a certain number of stories every week or every month. But with all the other stuff that we've been doing lately, like planning all these different events, we're going to do a painting event. We're going to do a fitness event. Like we're putting crypto into like all these different places.
We will take over your entire life.
Right.
And
make it crypto for you. Yeah.
We're going to
crypto-size it.
We're going to crypto-size
give me some of that.
Life.
Let me get them nuts,
girl.
We're
going to crypto-size your whole life. You're going to be so cryptoed out, you're not going to want to leave. All right? You're going to be like, whoa, I thought I was going to be over this, but you know what? I'm not.
Not Sweatcoin. I'm glad you mentioned that. Not Sweatcoin.
Sweatcoin is technically not a cryptocurrency.
Right.
I hope you know that.
There is another one.
It's a little disappointing. I'm not going to lie.
We just had a phone call today with Gym Rewards.
We did have a phone call today.
So we'll see how that goes. But we did have a phone call today with Gym Rewards. We talked to their CEO.
Sure did. If you guys are not aware, Gym Rewards, they're actually local out of Miami. We actually found that out.
Down the block
and
type
we're like,
shit.
Whoa, like they're out of Miramar, Florida. So it's actually relatively close.
Like down
to
the
us.
block. Like my son lives in Miramar.
Cool.
So
I was like, whoa, no way. But yeah, it's super exciting. Lots of events coming your way. If you guys are actually local to the Miami area, we are partnering up with the Blockchain Center Miami. If you guys are not aware of the Blockchain Center Miami, definitely check out the Blockchain Center Miami, the one and only location within the South Florida area that is popping on cryptocurrency.
So the way
check out Crypto
it
Mondays.
works, right?
We will
Facts.
be there.
The way it works is the blockchain center is a building, right? It's a big old building for crypto stuff, right? We're probably going to have an office there soon. Shh, don't tell nobody. Putting it out there into the universe, but we're definitely going to have an office there soon. Because like doing stuff here is just like it's a lot sometimes. So anyways, so the blockchain center is the building, and then the Bitcoin center is something that is established in it's also established in NYC. Right. There's a Bitcoin Center NY. Right. And then there's also a Bitcoin Center Miami, which is the third floor of the blockchain center. Right. It's a building that the first floor is a Wells Fargo, which is actually hilarious, and then the rest of the building is basically just all the blockchain center. Right. So we're gonna have an office there eventually because I'm kind of tired of this. Like I want office space to just kind of like kick my feet up and like be able to host more than we're able to host here, for security reasons. So we're definitely gonna be getting an office at the Bitcoin Center, which is partnered with / kind of in conjunction with the Bitcoin Center. Anyways, so if anyone was interested in writing articles, on bitsandtokens.com on our blog, we are open to having you write articles, and I am not opposed to having you have your tippin.me at the end of the article or whatever, so people can tip you for your good work. We are also part of what's the one where it gives you money per like view or whatever, like per second? Basic attention token.
Bat, yeah.
Is that it?
Is that what you're speaking of?
I think so. Anyway, so yeah, we're BAT like monetized or whatever. So like as you're viewing bitsandtokens.com, a little trickle of BAT if you are in there, kind of contributes to us or whatever. Anyways, so we'll figure out some profit splitting for that as well. You'll probably get 100% honestly, because I don't really care about like the money from.
Also, do we not have a service or a events page up on Bits and Tokens?
So we don't have the events page yet because there's only the one event so far, which is August 17th. If you're into VR, there's going to be an event on AltSpace, so you'll have to download the AltSpace app. And then
it's a VR event, guys. If you are into VR, if you want to meet companies such as Engine Coin, if you want to earn a crypto kitty, Crypto Kitty and blockchain cuties, those are two really big games.
Crypto Kitties is giving out free cats or free kitties.
Free kitties.
At our event, right. And I say our very loosely. Bits and Tokens had like somewhat of a hand in it, but honestly, Jerome is really the one that's into the VR, into the gaming space.
I'll be monetizing some panels, so that's gonna be.
He really did the majority of the work getting this event set up.
I need to add September 20th, 51.
So. Hey, listen, maybe we should.
Well, you should just add it for shits and giggles.
Listen, we'll do a live stream of the live streams of the raid on September 20th. Are you down with that?
We should find. If we
I'm
find
down with
someone
that.
who's live stream, we'll live stream their live stream.
Because my plan was on September 20th was to find the greatest live streams anyway and record all that content and then make a compilation video regardless. So if we can live stream it, like I'm with that. Cool. But anyways, though, so like if you are into VR, if you are into gaming, if you are into crypto gaming,
there is a 2D mode. Just to throw that out there.
Right.
AllSpace is free. The conference is free.
Right.
There'll be a lot of companies there. You can ask them questions. You'll have an avatar. It's going from 10 a.m. Central Time to 9 p.m. Central Time. It is a global event. There'll be global companies. There'll be other companies.
Wait, no, you said Central Time. No.
Is it not Central Time?
Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time.
It's going to be 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
No, it's 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. I'm pretty sure it was Eastern or Central Time. I think Jerome corrected me when I said it.
No, he said it was 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which meant that it would have been 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know if I'm drunk and if I'm making sense.
You just made no sense.
Listen.
You
whatever.
Just made no. When you said
listen,
Linda.
Listen.
Eastern Central
whatever
Time
he said today was like, oh, actually, it's gonna be 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. whatever
we will
time.
Keep you guys updated.
It converted over to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I promise you.
Okay. All right. Whatever Tim says. But anyways, the date is The date is the 17th, August 17th, right? Lots of companies there. Again, it's global. You get to win giveaways such as Crypto Kitties.
Crypto Kitties is literally going to be there. Engine Coin is literally going to be there.
Cuties is going to be there. There's going to be a bunch of crypto gaming
You
companies.
might get cooties.
If you're into blockchain gaming, this is the event for you. It's the first VR 100% held conference with crypto companies around the world. We will expand next year. This year's is kind of like a test run.
I see
it's
reaches
really
for his
you
drink.
guys to like my drink. He reached for my drink.
I did.
He reached for his drink. He reached for my drink.
Yo, I'm sauced out. My bad, dog.
As we expand, right now we're expecting close to about 1,000 people, if I'm not mistaken.
Whoa.
1,000 people going to be in this conference, guys.
1,000?
It's going to be super cool.
And this one's free?
This one's free.
Wow, that's
free
crazy.
for the public. Bits and Tokens is going to be one of the, I guess, mediators. I will be there.
That's super
panels.
crazy because like I'm 100%. Listen.
Awesome. It's gonna be awesome.
I don't care how passionate Jerome becomes off this event. Oh, hold on.
Did you break something?
I think I broke something. I don't know. Oh, you know what? It's fine.
It's fine. You didn't break anything.
I don't care how passionate Jerome becomes off this event. You know what I'm saying? We're charging money for the next one. I don't care.
Well, in order to facilitate, because here's the thing, right?
There's costs that are involved with just me existing as a human being.
There's costs that are involved because this is our first one.
For me to just exist,
making it free to the public.
Listen. You see these stickers? You see these
for the
these
sake
stickers?
Of life.
These stickers ain't free, son. You know what I'm saying? If you want to host some stickers on this laptop, you know what I'm saying? Holla at me.
Listen, it's okay. You're okay. Tim's a little drunk, guys. I'm sorry. But because this is something like again that we are doing for the first time, slash it is a conglomerate between another company called Block to Central.
Shout out Block to Central.
Shout out to Block to Central. So I mean, it's gonna be super cool. Like I said, it's gonna be free for the public. Lots of companies, lots of giveaways. It's gonna be super fun. It's gonna be an all-day event. It's gonna be August 17th. Altspace.com.
I'll be there. Listen. I'll be there. I'll be there a little bit. Annalise is definitely gonna be there. Jerome is definitely gonna be there. I'll be there a little bit. Okay.
Listen, we're gonna have fun. We're all there to have fun. It's gonna be awesome, guys.
I'm a little bit more expensive than everybody else. No big deal. To get me to come out costs a little bit more money.
You are a bougie bitch.
So
I hope you know that. You's a bougie, excuse my French, bitch. Okay?
Listen, this wine is not gonna pay for itself. Okay.
You and your cheap ass wine.
The smokes are not gonna. Whoa! It was $3.
Woo! All of $3. Wow, inflation my ass.
It was on sale.
So, anyways, guys, for our very last segment before we get way too out of hand, we're gonna do hodl trade.
Oh shit! I did not prepare for this. Hold on.
It's hodl trade use. There we go. Use was the last one.
Shit! I did not trade for this. Damn, we're doing so we're doing Nexo,
use between Nexo,
Link, and Dragon Chain.
Chainlink and Dragon Chain. All right, so need a piece of paper. I need a pencil real quick, or actually, I just type it on my screen. Don't even worry about it.
All right. So this segment is really fun. We actually do want the audience participation.
Yes, guys.
So before
if you guys are aware of Nexo, Chainlink, or Dragon Chain,
before we even give our answers, so here's how it works, right? There's three currencies, and there's three ways that we can rank them. Okay, we can either rank them as a hodl, as a trade. Whereas like you're gonna make money if you trade it, the ups and downs or whatever, and there's a use, okay? So a currency that's good to actually use now, like today, okay? And then the three currencies, I'm gonna put them in the chat for you, is Nexo, Link, and Dragon Chain, okay? So Nexo, that's not how you spell Nexo.
You're talking about Chainlink when you say Link, right?
Yes.
Okay, just verifying for the audience. Yeah, so it's a quick little no, please get out of hands. Truce. You would love to see that. Wow. So Jake literally just
what does Jake say?
So
he would hold a Link, he would trade Nexo, and he would use Dragon.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's the exact same answers I actually.
I'm not gonna lie. Listen, I already wrote that down. Facto mundo, boyo.
Yeah. So first of all, why are we gonna hold Chainlink?
So we're gonna hodl Chainlink because they've been going up almost exponentially, and we're gonna keep riding that out to see if it makes sense. Okay, so we're gonna hodl chain link.
So
okay?
where are we gonna trade Nexo?
Wait, actually, hold on. Time out. Wait a minute. Hodl trade use. So he's actually gonna hodl Nexo, which I'm not mad at that either. Okay.
No, that says trade Nexo.
Wait, hold on.
Are you drunk? Is your drunk?
Hold
are
on.
your drunk
Oh,
eyes
I am
working?
drunk.
Your drunk eyes are broken.
Listen, I was reading.
Your drunk eyes are broken.
I was reading our post. Hold on. I am drunk, but I could. Is there more wine? What's going on?
What's
Hold
wrong
on.
with you? What are you doing? That's not yours. Okay.
Finish
Anyways,
that.
so trade Nexo. To be completely honest, I'm not aware of Nexo that much. So because of that reason, I'm trading it. Because I don't know.
Well, no. Okay, so look, let's do this. I'm gonna pull up a Nexo chart.
You tell me your reason, Tim.
I'm gonna pull up a Nexo chart.
As he's pulling up a Nexo chart, Dragon Chain, that one used. Why it's used for online. Yes. Tim, where's your interaction?
Hold on, my bad. I'm looking at the Nexo chart.
Anyways, if you guys don't know what Dragon Chain is, we were talking about it last week. Let me just pull up their thing real quick. But essentially, like I said, it's a use of service for enterprise. It's also used, widely throughout the crypto space. It's something that's kind of like a use case scenario. It's
out
something that's
right
used
now.
for developers.
This is crazy.
If you want to develop literally any type of platform, whether it's a game, it's an open source platform, which is a really good reason why you want to use it. It has a lot of flexibility on the blockchain. It has high performances on the past. It was actually founded in 2014. 2016 was a really big year for Dragon Chain, and it was founded by Disney.
So, Dragon Chain aside, let's start with Nexo because we would trade Nexo, right?
Nexo. Okay, teach me about Nexo. I'm actually
So
not
the
familiar.
reason, listen, first of all, whatever they're doing aside, do you see this chart right now? This chart screams, please trade me.
Oh, what is that?
This chart
That's
screams,
ugly.
this chart screams, fucking range bound, please fucking trade me right now.
That's ugly. That's an ugly chart.
Look at a 5-day chart. They're like chilling within this
Ooh,
range.
No.
They're begging to be traded, okay?
No.
You listen. Sell here, buy here, you're good to go, okay? Even buy here, like sell
Bitcoin
here,
and beer,
you
sure.
are good to go. Okay. So the reason why I would trade Nexo is because they've been coming up a lot in like various like not really the news, but like like different like crypto like influencers or whatever have been talking about Nexo, and so because of that, a lot of people are getting like accustomed to it, and so I would trade them, because look at this range though. For the past like 3 days, I would have been able to make a killing on Nexo.
Right?
They're
I feel
range
Jake.
bound
It looks literally gross. Like
They're
if I was
range
to
bound
define
AF.
Gross, the definition, I would put that chart.
Look
in the
at
definition
this.
of gross.
Look at this. They're range bound AF. I would have been
That
like,
makes
boom,
no-
sell, boom, buy, boom, sell, boom, buy. And I would have been making money, okay?
Right.
And if I would have leveraged this, money. So, like, that's all I'm saying. So, that's basically what our criteria is for trade. They meet the criteria for trade, okay?
Right.
Boom. So, then we have... Okay, we have Crypto Jake talking about some...
It's going to make him throw up, but, liquidity might be low.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Bitcoin and beers. You know what? Facts. Okay, so hodl link trade Nexo. So we already talked about trading Nexo. So hodl link. Let's say hodl link, right? So link, their chart looks even crazier. Okay.
It does look crazier, but more on a positive aspect.
Okay, hold on. So
Think about it that way, right?
Chain link.
I hope
Okay,
you guys
chain
like my
link Bitcoin.
smile. I like to smile for you guys. It makes me happy. I mean, Bitcoin makes me happy, and you guys make me happy.
All right, so check me out, right? I don't even know if this is a good trade or a good chart or not, but so hodl.
Awesome, don't fib it. We got the same answers.
Hodl chain link. Why would I hodl chain link? Oh, I don't know, because they boomed over here. Okay, they went back down. They're due for another boom. Okay, Chainlink has just been making all the right like media impressions lately. Like they just been, even since the beginning of the year. Like, okay, so September. Let's call September the beginning of the year, since the next month from right now is September. If I would have been holding Chainlink from September, boom, I'll be right now. Okay, I'll be okay.
That seems to be a really big one right next.
So that's why they become a hodl for us. Okay, that's it. That's the whole reason right there that they become factually a hodl for us. Okay. Now the last one, Dragon Chain. Okay. Dragon Chain is I
love their baby dragon. I love the color blue. It's such a cute little dragon.
Okay, so Dragon Chain is being so Bitcoin Jank says Dragon Chain is a use. Let's talk about why Dragon Chain might be a use. What even is Dragon Chain used for? Let's first of all.
Dragon Chain is an open source platform for developers to use. It has a lot of business flexibility through the blockchain. It's also used in a lot of enterprises.
Facts.
As services, it's a service coin.
But what, like, let's say like I bought some Dragon Chain. What can I use it for?
You can literally use. So if you're a developer, right, you can use Dragon Chain. Wow, you can use Dragon Chain to actually build your own blockchain application. That is one usage for it. Another usage for it, like I said, it is open source. It's full stack as well. It does give a lot of resources off.
You know what? I'm gonna be like the developer real quick. So if anyone doesn't know, like I'm the one.
You're the developer.
I'm the one that does like the majority of like the development, like the application building, the website building, etc. for Bits and Tokens. Anyways, so Dragon Chain uses the REST API, REST, REST. Okay. I fuck with REST API. Okay, very, very easy for you to integrate with your website, with your application, with your whatever. Okay, very easy to pull information from the REST API. Okay, so I fuck with that. So the fact that they're using REST API instantly makes them a use for me. Okay, beyond that, okay, let's look at. We're gonna switch to the internet view real quick.
Internet view.
So beyond that, traditional blockchains are difficult to comprehend. That's true. I would agree with that 100%, right? Dragon Chain makes it easy to create transactions and build blockchain solutions. Create a transaction in a matter of seconds by sending data to our RESTful API. Using the Dragon Chain Explorer, you'll be able to verify that your transaction was posted on our blockchain.
That's what I heard. So break it down to me. Give me a user-friendly version of that, Tim. What does that mean?
Basically, all the statistics that you would need via the REST API available to you immediately. Okay.
Immediately, like
then Dragon Chain, you're able to create transactions in a matter of seconds. Okay. That's fire because transactions are what makes up the blockchain universe, right?
Okay.
Let's say, for example, Facebook was a blockchain product, right? And all of Facebook was on the blockchain.
Facebook is
every
on the
time
blockchain.
I comment,
Libra up.
Right. Every time I comment, that's on the blockchain, so that's a transaction, right?
Got it, boo.
So because the fact that Dragon Chain makes it instant, it would make that a use for me. It would make, and this is not based on Dragon Chain as like, oh, I'm shilling Dragon Chain, like let's use them. It's based on the fact that like we're doing a hodl trade use. On Dragon Chain. So Dragon Chain is the use of the hodl trade use.
That chain of dragons. You like that?
No. What the fuck is happening right now? Hold on. Wait a minute.
We gotta hold on. Let me fish it. Reel it in.
I don't know what's going on right now.
Let me have some fun.
Based on the fact that Dragon Chain seems as though it's the most usable from a developer point of view right now, I would consider Dragon Chain to be the use out of our hodl trade use.
The use.
So keep in mind also what I want y'all to do is find us on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and let us know what y'all want to see for the next hodl trade use.
Also, we're going to do a Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, definitely DM us some questions so we can do a Q&A.
Right.
That is
Ask a
something
question.
we're gonna have.
Ask a question right now, and I will answer it for you.
Yes. But if you have a question throughout the week or you want something to be featured on the show, make sure to reach out to us. We will feature you. We'll shout you out. Give you a little bit of exposure.
Definitely.
Whatever,
Oh my
but it'll be
God.
fun.
20 notifications on Twitter.
20
Jesus
notifications on Twitter.
Christ.
Anyways, guys, so Hodl Trade News, that basically wraps up the rest of our Bits and Tokens show. I appreciate you guys for all tuning in. If you tuned in late, make sure to go back. I know this is a long show. It's actually 114 minutes long, which is fantastic because I'm totally okay with that. We've been online.
That's a lot of minutes.
We've been on air for almost 2 hours, but it's okay, you know? Like, people come, people go, like, they watch and they see whatever. It doesn't matter. But make sure to follow us on social media. We're on Twitter. My social media is Annalise_BNT.
Mine is BTC Weatherman.
BTC Weatherman for Tim if you guys want to find us on Twitter. If you have an Instagram, we'll drop some links for the Instagram in the page below. I'll drop my Instagram.
Honestly, for Instagram, use Instagram.com/bitsandtokens.
You'll find us that way. That
is
be the best way to
our
find
right.
us.
And then mine is Instagram is hella whack. But that's just because I believe that Instagram is hella whack.
We'll just drop all our ad names in there just so you guys can have them.
Right.
Feel free to follow us on social media. Other than that, guys, we'll see you next time. Make sure to go on bitsandtokens.com. We'll have an events page up soon. Make sure to check out the crypto conference, August 17th from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Free Crypto Kitties giveaway. Make sure you get your kitty. It's going to be awesome. Get your kitty, get your cat, meow, meow. Engine Coin's going to be there. Blockchain Cuties is going to be there. And there's going to be a whole lot of other companies that are going to be there. There's companies that are coming in last minute.
Truce has
awesome
left
experience.
the building. Peace out, Truce.
So, all right, guys. We'll see you next time. Make sure to tune into Bits and Tokens. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
I'm saucy. Goodbye. Wait. Hold on. Wait. Everything is messing up. Oh, I broke it all.
You
Hold
broke
on.
it? Wow.
Wait, and stop.